Good evening, everybody. I have to follow the guy with the DJ voice here. Sorry, my voice is a little goofy, but that's okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. Konbanwa, 안녕하세요. My name is Ed, and I'm Kelvin's coolest man. First, I'd like to take this time to thank Mr. and Mrs. Kelvin Sr. and Jennifer Ogata, and Mr. Peter here, Mr. Peter and Ivy Yagi, parents of the bride and groom. Please give them a round of applause for it. So Kelvin and I first locked eyes 30 years ago. We were Lofts middle schoolers at New Valley Intermediate. We were friends and had classes together, but it wasn't until high school at Kaiser where our romance blossomed. We lived near each other, had more classes together, and shared common interests like basketball, the beach, and food. We started hanging out pretty much every day, and were inseparable, like two peas in a pod. Then came a guy named Grant Lau. Suddenly, we had to make room in our pod for three. It was a tough transition at first, but when your mom cooks restaurant quality Chinese food, make room in the pod. The three of us would do everything together, go beach in the morning, play basketball during the day, and eat Chinese food at night. Then before heading out, we would always tell ourselves, tonight is the night, boys. We're gonna meet the girl of our dreams. First, we'd head over to Tower Records to listen to the demo stations. Then we'd cruise White's and do the mannequin challenge whenever a girl walks by. Then we'd eat alone at Zippy's and talk about what could have been. Finally, we would end the night by heading back to Grant's for a video game all-nighter with classics like NBA Jam, Contra, and Cyberball. And you wonder why the girls didn't like us. One night, we came back from a night on the town, and we noticed, we went to Grant's house for video games again, and we noticed Grant's dad pacing back and forth, shaking his head. We're like, what is he doing out there? And then finally he lets himself in, just as my bot is about to catch an epic touchdown pass. And he goes, hey, you guys gay or what? And that was the end of our night. When we got a little older, we moved into the clubbing phase of our lives. And we didn't know the conversation was now email and cell phones, but the message to each other was still the same. Tonight is the night, boys. The girl of our dreams. And just like we did in the past, we held up the walls at Oceans, we alone at Zippy's, and went home. Eventually, though, Grandma would get very lucky and meet the girl of his dreams in Hillary and marry her. I too met and married the girl of my dreams a year later. And tonight, Kelvin has found the girl of his dreams. For those of you who don't know Kelv, he's probably best described as Mother Teresa. No, excuse me. As he's best described as a poker face robot. He's a tight-lipped drone that never shows emotion. He's the type of guy that won't ever admit to liking a girl, even if they were naked and throwing themselves at him. So when he actually said, she's cute, when I asked him what he thought of Noelle, I knew that either one, his batteries were running low, and the circuitry inside was malfunctioning, or he must really, really like it. Say no more, I said. Operation Love My Cyborg Buddy was in full effect. So we made plans to go to a UH baseball game, and I told Noelle, somebody will be picking you up. I think she thought it was me. But then at the last minute, I told Kelvin, okay, you're going to pick up Noelle. No questions asked. I didn't really give him a choice. And at the game, the whole time I was kind of like hinting to them, oh, isn't Kelvin a handsome stud tonight? I didn't really pay attention to the game. Another night we went to the Deolani Fair. Towards the ending of the night, we were all walking back to our cars, and Kelvin and Noel were walking side by side with their hands literally next to each other. It was like this. You could tell they wanted to hold hands, but Kelvin was a chicken. After what seemed like eternity, I couldn't take it anymore. I ran up behind them, grabbed both hands, and shoved them out. It was at that very moment that I knew something memorable had just happened. And a few months later, June 6, 2009, they officially became a couple. A little sidebar, my birthday is June 6. They claim that it's a coincidence, but we all know the true story. All we need now is for them to coincidentally name their first son Ed. Over time, as I learned more about Noel and saw them interact, I knew they were right for each other and the perfect complement to one another. They're both into fantasy football, like hardcore into fantasy football. They both like to drink, Noel her beer, Kelvin, well, protein powder. Noel likes to scold Kel. Kel likes to be scolded by Noel. It's a match made in heaven. By the way, not sure if anybody of you guys know, but after marrying Mr. Ogata today, Noel's initials are now N-O. But seriously, Noel, you look absolutely stunning tonight. Round of applause for Noel. Thank you for sticking with the big guy and taking care of him in a way that I never could. I'm very excited to finally officially welcome you into our pod 843. Grandma, you're out. And Kel, thank you for being the best friend a guy could ever ask for. Thank you for dropping everything and taking my calls in the middle of the night when I was sleepy driving and needed somebody to keep me up. Thank you for showing me how to be a better brother when you would not care about your teenage image and invite your snotty kid sister out with us everywhere we went. I love you, Sharon. Thank you for being the first and only guy to rush to my aid with towels when I cut my eyebrow wide open on the basketball court. And thank you for showing me how to be a genuine, honest, and caring, and what it looks like to be loved by everyone. You're the brother I never had, and I'm blessed to call you my friend. When my daughters grow up, I want them to marry somebody just like you. Hopefully a little more athletic. And now, if I could ask everyone to stand up for a toast to the beautiful bride and groom and their future son, Ed. A successful marriage requires falling in love many, many times, always with the same person. Here's to Kelvin and Noel falling in love with each other over and over and over. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
All right, now, this is the part of the evening